And
Too early?
let's talk about it, y'all. Middle
America.
Well, here we are, dear listener, in a wonderful, wonderful day in 2021. This is a historic day.
It is a historic day. It really is.
We are out of Afghanistan.
Finally.
If we can maintain it, that would be great. I'm very, very skeptical. I believe that troops are actually already on their way back into Afghanistan.
No, they're there to evacuate them.
Yeah, they're there to evacuate Americans. What's up, Whackbird? You are first. That is true.
People come on really fast.
So a lot of people have been asking me. A couple of my folks been texting me. Vin, what do you think about this? We've all seen the horrible imagery of people running for their lives, scared to death. I just saw. I was debating whether or not to publish it, and I won't. But there was a picture of it appeared to be two bodies falling from the air because people were trying to escape, and they held on to the jet while the jet was taking off. And
tell us today.
Yeah, they fell. Yeah. They fell and died. So obviously, really horrible pictures. And people have been asking me, "Hey, you've been one of these anti-war people. You've been saying we should get out of Afghanistan." Boogly is saying he actually saw the video of people falling, which is, obviously a horrific way to exit the planet, obviously. And so, look, this garners up a lot of deep emotion from anybody that has, a heart, right? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter what your political sort of persuasions are. When you run into a situation like this, it's pretty terrible and it's tragic, and that's the only thing that you can say about it. It's tragic. The question is did we do the right thing? So what's your position?
Well, I am extremely happy that we have finally left. We spent $2 trillion there. We trained their troops. We gave them money and guns and weapons. We trained them. They have a army of 300,000 strong. And according to Biden, that's actually more than some NATO countries. And so, and they didn't do anything. They didn't stop the Taliban at all. They let them run through the city. And obviously, the Taliban is doing some pretty bad stuff over there. It's pretty horrible. But it is not our responsibility to go in there. And we've been there. We try to help them. We helped them over 20 years. We tried to help them. And their government.
We tried to help them?
Well, okay, no. We've been there since 2001. And under questionable premises. And
well, the initial premise was they were harboring bin Laden.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which we succeeded in taking him out. In which case we should have immediately disappeared.
Yeah, we took out bin Laden in Pakistan in 2012. That's the story.
We should have immediately.
That's what we told everybody. So what were we doing in Afghanistan after 2012? And no, was it our large conventional forces that took out bin Laden? No. It was it was essentially a combination of the intelligence community, headed up by the agency, a DevGru team, and a Jawbreaker team, which consisted of a mixture of various intelligence agencies, etc. You had activity guys there on the scene, etc., etc. So number one, bin Laden was already taken out in 2012, and number two, the methodology that we used to take him out was not our giant, big, conventional military.
And
it was...
There was no big Air Force, right? It's like a couple of helicopters. If I understand correctly.
Correct.
So, very happy. Biden's doing exactly the right thing. I think around over 2,000 American men have left this earth, never to see their families again, because of this. And the politicians...
How many?
According to Biden, over 2,000
men. 2,000... men have died, KIA in Afghanistan?
Yes! That's not even civilians. That's just American soldiers who have died. that's just them, and then we have this statistic as well. Are you sure? Is this?
That's a terrible statistic. But so is this one. This one's really horrible. Actually, no. I'll put this stat up later. But yeah, we lost 2,000 American citizens. That's really, really terrible.
And this one is this showing? Is that are people able to see that?
Yeah, I'll show it in a second. So yeah, we lost. I mean, there is no way to say that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, a lot of U.S. soldiers have been killed.
Is the thing on?
Yeah, go ahead. Just keep.
Okay, anyway.
Say what you wanted to say.
Yeah, and every administration, 4 administrations have promised we're gonna get Afghanistan, and it's never happened. They didn't want to, or they didn't try, or they tried and the Speaker of the House knocked it down. But now we're finally leaving. We're evacuating the embassy. We're evacuating our troops there. We're evacuating the citizens there, the American citizens there, and our allies. And we're finally leaving. No more spending money on this worthless war that is not going to go anywhere. No more suffering. Well, actually, no, there will be a lot of suffering, unfortunately. But hopefully, we will mitigate the human suffering, because we also are involved with that. Not just the Taliban. The U.S. is also involved in some of the civilian lives that get lost there, because
we're involved in some. Okay.
What? We're not involved in all.
So we've lost 2,000 American soldiers, and since 9/11, there have been more than 71,000 civilian deaths. So here's the thing. When you sign up to go to war as an American soldier, you signed up for that. But those Afghani civilians did not sign up for a foreign power to invade their country and kill them in bunches. They didn't sign up for that. Mm-hmm. And so what we have to be very, very careful about, and what we have to be aware of, is the fact that the media does not function as simply a communication information communication portal. Obviously, the horrific scenes of people clinging onto airplanes and things like that, falling from the sky, is designed to make you feel a certain way. It's designed to stoke your emotions so that you can go, oh my God, we can't leave, etc., etc. Dear listener, we've killed 71,000 innocent Afghan civilians. How come that's not on primetime media? How come that's not blowing up YouTube? How come NBC and CNN? I mean, we've been killing innocent civilians every year since we've been there. We spent $2 trillion, and we've murdered. And that was a low. You guys all know that 71,000 number by Brown.edu is a massively low number.
How is that a low? How?
There are higher estimates that go up to 500,000 civilians that have been killed by the United States.
Oh, gosh.
Listen, the Taliban doesn't even have the technology available to them to kill people in Afghanistan at the rates and degrees that we were, because they're still in the Stone Age. I mean, those boys are still carrying AK-47s around. Okay? But
they don't have an air force.
But correct, they don't have an air force. So the hypocrisy of American media, that now what's happening is our emotions are supposed to be so stoked by these images, which of course they are, but they never showed us all the people that we murdered. I mean, I talked so many times about the 30 pine nut farmers that were just completely dispatched into eternity. Americans didn't bat an eyeball at it. And the news didn't go down there to Afghanistan and show us what the ramifications of drone bombing a bunch of innocent civilians were.
They're just farmers?
Correct.
Why did we bomb them then?
Good question.
No, seriously, why?
Good question. Why? No answers. We just keep bombing people
just for
all
no
over
reason?
The place. Okay, so I'm sure we have a reason, but what my point is, those were civilians. We admitted that they were civilians, and we didn't bat an eyelash, and the media wasn't there. I mean, look, if you wanted to stoke emotions, go over there and tell the life story of one of these pine nut farmers, how simple their life was, and then you can have the last scene with their completely disassembled body scattered all over the mountain ranges of Afghanistan. They didn't do that. But now they're showing you this stuff because they want to stoke you into supporting more war. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And look, Is it horrible that now the tally is going to go on a revenge tour? Of course, it's horrible. Yeah, are we going to see videos in the next couple days of people getting lined up and summarily executed by the Taliban? Of course we are. But I hate to tell you, dear listener, do you remember what happened? Do you remember what happened in 2001 when we invaded Afghanistan? There's this group called the Northern Alliance, and the Northern Alliance were already entrenched in a civil war with the Tally. And here's The Guardian, as of 2001, killing and plunder as alliance claims its revenge. The Taliban faces deadly wrath after collapse of Kabul lines. And then the article goes on to describe an eyewitness event of a Tally soldier getting dragged out of a little bunker and then summarily executed 2 seconds later. That's what these people do. When we went in there and the balance of power shifted to the rebels, they went and did hunter-killer missions on the Tally and killed hundreds of people in the Taliban. So what we're seeing now when the balance of power shifts to the Tally is them giving payback for what happened to them in 2001. You see, but now what's happening is they're like, oh, they're doing all these revenge killings. How can we stand by and watch? Well, why wasn't CNN and MSNBC talking about that as well in 2001? And how come there wasn't a national outcry about it? Oh, that's right. I remember where I was when I heard that there were revenge killings about the Taliban. And do you know what my response was? Good. Fuck them. That was my response. Because 9/11 had just happened.
Yeah.
So we ended up in Afghanistan, pretty soon after that. And then I started hearing about these revenge killings. And I said, man, fuck those. Good. And that's what we all said. We didn't care. Because we had blood in the game. They killed 3,000 of ours. So we didn't care what happened to them. Now, keep in mind, the Tally never attacked us. But they were hiding Osama bin Laden. And they wouldn't give Osama bin Laden up. Huh?
Aiding and abetting.
Well, yeah, but the problem is that religiously speaking, and this is going to sound like a cop-out, but religiously speaking, they couldn't turn bin Laden over to America.
Oh, okay.
And on top of
that still doesn't matter.
On top of that, there's a cultural issue there. They've got this doctrine in Afghanistan called Pashtunwali, and Pashtunwali it means that you have to protect your guest even if it costs you your life. So that's why Marcus Luttrell, for example, lone survivor.
Oh.
That's the only reason he survived, is because he got taken in to a village, and so because of that, he now was their guest, and so they had to fight their own people to protect him.
Oh, it took care of an American?
Yes, they fought and killed their own people to protect Marcus Luttrell because of the doctrine of
white guy?
Correct. A white guy. He was a Navy SEAL.
I know. That's pretty.
He was a soldier fighting against them.
That's pretty impressive.
Right. So my point is, so we went in there for one guy, and then we try to oh, look at the Taliban, they're supporting bin Laden, that means they're terrorists. No, it just means that they're basic Muslims and they're basic Afghanis. And then we sent the entire weight of the United States military machine into Afghanistan on the premise that we were going after one guy, bin Laden, and one group, the Taliban, which was holding him, and they would not hand him over because they couldn't hand him over. That's just a fact. So
why do you think we sent the entire military? Because we have a pretty large military. What do you think we were doing with all of those, troops and technology and whatnot?
Hold on. I want to answer this question first. Ask that question again.
I said, why do you think, because you keep saying that there was ulterior motives because they just needed a small group of people to assassinate bin Laden. I'm saying, why do you think we sent our entire military?
I think that America has designs for that area of the world, that area of the globe.
Why do we want that area?
And I think there is a conflict. I said the area of the globe. I think there is remember, I mean, some of the stuff we'll talk about offline because I'm not going to put out, for the whole world to hear. But
is there oil there or something?
But the point is, there is no logical explanation. The standard narrative that America has been giving us to justify Afghanistan since 2012 has been crazy. So from 9/11 to 2012, it was bin Laden.
Yep.
Then we got bin Laden,
Yeah.
And then people were saying, okay, why are we still there? Then it became, well, we need to nation build because we just destroyed these people's country.
We did that in Hiroshima.
So now we have to nation build. Yeah, well, Hiroshima was different. The context was completely different. This is the problem with the American thought process. The Japanese situation in World War II post Hiroshima is not the same situation as the Taliban in 2001.
What do you mean?
They're completely different people.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Completely different people, completely different ideologies, completely different motivations.
Yeah, but why would you
completely different fears, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, why would you want to after you destroy something? Isn't it good to help them rebuild it?
Yeah, it is good to help them rebuild it, but the question is, when has America ever demonstrated that they have goodwill toward any country?
I just told you with the Hiroshima, we stayed in there.
That wasn't goodwill.
It wasn't goodwill. We could have bombed them and then left. What do you mean? We stayed in there and helped them. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah. Why do you think we did that?
To help Japan, bombed them.
Because Japan is a strategic. No. Japan is a strategic ally. 100%.
Okay, what's strategic about Japan?
Well, the fact that we had how many American soldiers were killed by the Japanese during the war?
I don't know.
Okay, so them being off the field as a future enemy is important to us.
I mean, What do you mean by off the field?
That means they're no longer an enemy of America because now we help them rebuild. So it's going to be harder for them to turn on us the next time another evil nation wants to get them in a coalition to take over the world. So America does nothing out of the goodness of its own heart. Nothing.
Oh.
We never have and we never will. So my point is, look,
kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, there's also no such thing as Santa Claus.
Well, I mean,
this idea that America is like this global force for good, that's not true. That's not true. I've been around the world and seen the fruits of American nation building.
Yo, I don't think we should go around building nations. That's why I'm glad we're leaving Afghanistan, because Joe Biden said it.
In a post Bin Laden, that was the argument. Oh, we need to nation build.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great error. I don't think it's good. I said it had a little bit of merit because I thought that's what happened in Hiroshima.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I agreed 100% with Joe Biden. And those who know me know I do not like Joe Biden. But Joe Biden's speech that he gave was wonderful. It was beautiful. It almost brought tears to my eyes. It was amazing. And
it almost brought tears to your eyes. I never thought I'd see the day.
The best part
what was good about that speech?
It was amazing. He said we're leaving. We're leaving for all the good reasons, all the right reasons. He gave a bunch of reasons why we're not going to leave. Not only were they the right reasons, he gave a lot of reasons why we shouldn't leave. Why we should leave. And he made it very clear what was happening. And I was very happy about it. And here's the other thing. The reason I like Trump is because he does what he knows is the right thing to do, even though it's not going to be popular, right? Biden, this decision is horrifically unpopular.
Wait, Trump did something. All right, keep going. I don't even want to get sidetracked by your Trump apologetics.
It's horrifically unpopular. A lot of people don't like, including
how unpopular is it? I mean, Trump ran on the whole "we're going to end the forever war."
I mean,
so that's not.
Look at.
Why
CBS.
are you saying it's unpopular?
Look at the CBS video. Look at Fox News. Look at
that's right now, but. Pulling out of Afghanistan was massively popular. Why was Trump? Even right wingers, even bloodthirsty right wingers were.
So why are the right wingers roasting Biden then?
Why was Trump running on getting out of the forever wars?
Everyone
that's unpopular.
Biden said the same thing in his debates.
Okay, so why, if that's unpopular?
I have no idea why it's unpopular now that's happening, but it is unpopular. It's horrifically unpopular.
It's not unpopular. What's unpopular is people are being dragged around by their emotions because the media is showing all these things. These people, oh my God, they're on the tarmac. They're holding on to the plane. They're falling from the plane. All of which are absolutely tragic, but designed to get us away from the real issue. Prior to all of this emotionalism that was popping up on TV, everybody was saying, why the hell are we in Afghanistan? Let's get us out of here.
I know.
So it wasn't some brave thing that Biden did that was unpopular.
Well, they're telling him to stop doing it, and he's still going to.
They're saying it now because of all the backlash, because everybody's emotional.
I mean, this poor guy has to retreat to Camp David so he can get some peace and quiet. That's how bad it's been getting.
No, it's not really getting that bad.
It's okay.
Look, listen. There are people. Look, prior to this, for years, Americans have been saying, "Why the hell are we in Afghanistan?"
I know.
That's why your man Trump ran on the forever war thing. And by the way, Trump was the one that initiated, and I commended him for it last year, the ceasefire with the Tally.
Yeah,
he's the one that got that deal done.
I know.
So it was immensely popular. It's immensely popular. Okay. It's just now, because of what's happening in the media and everybody's being manipulated by the media, now all of a sudden people are getting all emotional and crazy about it. But yeah, pulling out of Afghanistan was absolutely popular. So I don't give him any props for that. I'm not sure if this is too extreme, but do you think a country like Afghanistan would benefit from a civil war between the moderates in the country and the extremists like the Taliban? Well, that's a complicated question. One, there already was a civil war going on between the Taliban and the Northern Alliance, and that's been going on forever. But the fact of the matter is, another problem that's being raised here that I have specifically is, just like with ISIS, the average soldier age was like 21, 22 years old. A kid with a Kalashnikov. A week before he was chilling out reading his Quran at Starbucks, and now he's a super soldier over there in Iraq and Syria. Right? These kids stormed into Iraq, okay, and you had the Iraqi military and the Iraqi police force, and they just surrendered without a fight. Mm-hmm. And then it was, hey, America, come. I know, right? From ISIS.
Yeah, it's okay.
Why were you guys?
One of the generals was saying that they became basically spoon fed. He was for staying in Afghanistan, but he was saying that they're so used to getting spoon fed basically with our supply lines and our air support, that when we left and we stopped giving them our support, which they're drastically wasting and letting and faltering, that they didn't know what to do with themselves once the almighty United States military is out there to help them. You have to have the strongest, most powerful nation on earth to help you with this. And without that, you just crumble. And you just stand there and let people invade. How are you going to let people invade your capital city? These people who are committing
that's what I'm saying.
Barbaric actions. Even our own. That's when we had the whole 1-6 stuff. He had like 5 police officers with who some of them even forgot their gas mask, and they still went out and fought for them to protect the Capitol Hill. These punks, 300,000